Hey folks, Russ Bailey here for BrushPile Fishing. I am at Dale Hollow with Corey Thomas, a guide here on the lake and on the BrushPile Pro staff. We're actually scouting. We're looking at some brush piles because tomorrow morning we're going to tape a show. But Corey has all the latest and greatest from Garmin. And Corey, you've been catching monster fish all summer. And you've got a theory why, because all of your depth finders match up with your trolling motor. I want you to explain a little bit to the fans at home what we're talking about.
Yeah, man. Right now, since about May, I've went to a totally all Garmin system. That's trolling motor, graphs, everything. And I've got them all networked together and having a fully interactive Garmin system. What we got up front, we've got two of the GPS map 1222s. And then I've got on the dash, I've got a GPS map 1223. What this allows you to do is share screens between the units. It's an all interactive system, including Garmin's new premium cartography, which is a game changer. All right, let's do it.
Many people look at a lake and feel a sense of calm serenity. Crappie fishermen feel the heart-pounding anticipation of the thump. That's why host Russ Bailey is addicted to crappie fishing. It's this addiction that takes Russ from the Midwest to the Deep South in search of the best lakes, techniques, and patterns from some of the best crappie anglers in the country. Right here on BrushPile Fishing.
Hey folks, welcome to another edition of BrushPile Fishing. We are back at one of my favorite lakes, Dale Hollow, Tennessee, with Corey Thomas. Corey, how we doing?
Good, Rand. How are you?
Good. Hey, so we've done a lot of shows, but we've never done a middle of the summer, actually the end of summer, August.
Right.
Hotter than snot out.
Yeah.
And we're doing something completely different than we've done before.
For sure. We got these fish and they're on deep structure. Some of them are just on deep breaks. And we're going to slip bobber them. They will not chase a jig right now. They're just too lethargic. They won't commit. They'll look at it, but they won't commit to it. You saw yesterday afternoon we were kind of piddling around, and they were just kind of short striking, just tapping at it. They would not commit to it. But we're going to do what they want. We're going to feed them the meat today.
Well, one of the things that I like is, we've done some live scope shows with tournament guys to where they actually chase down one fish, which is a lot of work for the tournament guys. But here's where live scope can help you. We're going to pull up on humps, brush piles, see that the fish are there, see that your minnows are in place, but then we're watching.
We're just going to use it to locate them today. We're using the biggest tool we're using today is the new mapping. We're highlighting a specific depth, a band of water, and we're following that contour. And to get us around them, we use the live scope to locate them. But we're just dropping the minnow down there and catching them.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're burning daylight.
Let's do it.
Dale Hollow, summertime. Here we go, folks.
All right.
Corey, I've got to admit, I have never seen this view on the Garmin. I've never used this.
It's something brand new, Russ. This is something that comes with the premium cartography. It's called Fisheye View. And they use this as satellite imagery, and you really get the depth of shading and the relief. And you can see on the other side of the screen, on the other bank there, where the main creek channel is, you really pick up on all the secondary creek channels and the real undulations.
Right.
And if you were like a troller or crankbait puller or something, I mean, you imagine, you understand what you're seeing.
There we go.
Swimming up on it.
There he got it.
It's a big one. I ain't that big, I'm gonna swing him.
All right. Still not bad. First one.
Not a bad start. Russ key with this. It's a little number 4 Aberdeen hook.
That is a small hook.
I mean, these things are finicky.
Here's the lake information.
Big one?
I think so. Yeah, this is a serious one.
Come here.
All right, getting
Nice
a little
fish.
better.
Nice fish.
They are really light biting it today, buddy.
Oop, sorry.
This same fish I think hit Russ about 3 times. I had to come behind and snatch him from him.
I gotta let you get up on me.
But it's all about right now. Super finesse, little bitty, number 4 Aberdeen hook, mustad hook. And this, when they're this deep, they're not gonna release real good, so Denny has requested that we do a fish fry. So that's what we're gonna do.
So Denny's gonna make out on this trip, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
Your gear and conditions sponsored by Cornfield Fishing Gear.
Yeah, it's about 15, 20 foot. Yeah,
Good one.
I got it. Good enough.
Man, you just dropped that down.
Yeah, it's all about hitting it just perfect. If you're a foot off of these suckers, you're done. A little hook will stick them though.
You talked about how small a hook you have to use if you get these to bite.
Yeah. Yep, you're about there. Yeah, man. It's on the board, Joe.
Come here.
Swing him up in here.
Nice, another black.
Yeah, and good.
You know, Corey, every trip I've had down here, the one thing that I've noticed is every single fish you catch is so healthy. Another good black. Boy, they're warm too. They're deep, but they're warm.
All right, it's 10 foot right there. Yep. That's a good one.
Net.
Nah, I got him. Just a good one, not a big one. So this is gonna be 10 foot on that angle, and I'm just gonna spot walk us. You're right on them.
Okay.
Get him.
Got him.
Yeah, man.
Not the greatest angle, but I got him. Nice fish.
Nice fish. Good job, Russ.
Look at there. Man, when I say these are warm to the touch, and they're coming from deep water, they are warm. Water temperature's what? 80, almost 81
right now, but it's really fall. It was 90 a couple weeks ago.
Another good fish. You're gonna have a nice little mess
Yeah,
tonight.
I think old Denzel's gonna be eating all right.
Here we go. Come here. That's a crappie. Come here. Oh yeah. There we go.
In the boat.
All right, all right, all right. You know, we haven't got any of the 2 2¼ yet, but with what we have caught, I don't think anybody middle of summer is going to complain. That's another nice fish.
Nice fish.
Pretty color. Deep, deep crappie. So Corey, this is the summer pattern you like to fish.
Yeah.
When do you start? Is it when the fish are seeing a certain depth? Is it water temperature? When do you normally start this?
So let me catch this fish.
So much for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Russ Bailey has converted me to reeling on the wrong side.
Wasn't that smooth?
Oh,
Huh?
it was fantastic, Russ.
Well,
Turns out I've been wrong my whole life. Not a monster, but still another good keeper. So yeah, Russ, the summer pattern, this is what I would call the late summer pattern.
Okay.
And when these fish are doing this, you know, it's when the water gets really hot. The bait has moved out on these flats, so they're off of the stumps and they're off of the standing timber and everything, and they're out here in open water. This is most of everything we're fishing out here is man-made. You know, it's pretty much, if it got out here, it's man-made structure.
No.
And as they transition into the fall and the water cools, they'll get more aggressive. But that's why this technique, you know, there's not many people fishing. About me and a buddy out here, about the only ones that are really messing with them. And you know, traditionally, I would have said you couldn't catch them. But we found with this slip bobber rig, you know, and just, it's almost like, you know, we're force feeding them.
Right. Now, the one thing I've noticed, we haven't really pulled up to a pile. We've seen a lot of fish on piles.
Yeah, everything's got fish, but
it's one or two and they're done.
It's just one and two and done. Like this, the spot we're looking at right here has got at least 200 or 300 on it.
One of the things you said, they are pulling water so hard right now. This lake will be at winter pool by the end of August. And so, you know, that's just a couple weeks away. Actually, it's just over a week, isn't it? Yeah, we're close.
So, yeah, they'll have it all the way drawn down, so they'll have it, I mean, it's dropping, get it.
Got him.
Nice.
It's been a nice little pile so far.
Yeah. Oh,
Little
bluegill.
Not one of them big shell crackers you get here, but
they're in here though. But yeah, when they're pulling the lake this hard, the fish are extremely lethargic, and you know, you just got to hang it in front of them. You saw yesterday where they wouldn't chase a jig at all. So right now, it's not really about doing what you want to, but doing what you have to.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you know, 30 of the fish we're catching here today are going to make a good mess of fish. But as we move on, then the fish will start pulling out closer to the channel as they get it drawn all the way down, and then once the water starts cooling, they'll really set up on the fall bite, which is what I really am waiting for.
Corey, what kind of limits do they have here on Dale Hollow?
So down on Dale, it's a 10-inch size limit, and it's 15 fish a person, Russ. I really like that limit. A lot of people, you know, statewide, it's 20 in Kentucky. But this lake is a little bit more stringent, but when the size of the fish, I mean, even we're not catching, I just missed one. We're not catching just monsters today. We had one maybe pound and 3/4, but
they're still pretty dirty.
They're good fish, and they're so thick, you know, and healthy, and you know, 30 fish of just good keepers is going to make you over a gallon of fillets, and you can't complain about that.
No, not at all.
You know, these fish they're starting to get a little bit fatter. You know, they lose a lot of weight after the spawn, and we're in the process of picking it back up. But you know, once we get into the fall and they put the feed bag on, but we're still, you know, on a daily basis catching fish over 2 pounds.
Nice. All black crappie.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Very rarely will you catch. I've caught a handful of white ones all year.
I think every time I fish with you, it's all been black crappie too.
Or black nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, those black nose are pretty cool fish.
Corey, I know you've got a lot of repeat customers.
Oh yeah, I'm almost exclusively repeat at this point. Next year I'm gonna have more dates open to fish than I did this year, so hopefully I got some room to bring on some new people.
What's the best way to reach you, other than the BrushPile app?
Well, the BrushPile app, is a good way. Also, you can call me on my phone number at area code 270-566-1152, or a lot of people will contact me through Messenger, through Facebook at Lake Days Guide Service, and I get back to you as quick as I can.
And folks, Corey is a full-time guide year-round, so he catches these fish winter, spring, summer, fall.
Oh yeah, we're blessed to have a fishery that you can fish year-round. Water doesn't get as hard as it does up your way.
No. And the other thing, folks, stay with Denny Wilbert.
Oh my gosh.
It's Cedar Hill or...
How about that floating cabin?
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that nice?
You know, Joe, the camera guy, and I have got to stay in his floating cabin almost every time we come down here, and it is pretty cool. Oh, Corey.
I'm sleeping. Like they're coming up on us though.
I got mine.
I'm fishing handicapped. I'm fishing on the Russ Bailey side.
First two drops. Come here.
Yeah, we should have had a double right there.
Yeah, we should have. Good sign. Look at there.
I'm going to share with you guys a little tip that's going to help you guys mitigate some of the frustration you're going to have when you're trying to fish a slip bobber 30 foot deep. The main problem, and we fought this all day today, is the bobber stop getting hung in the reel. There's no way around it. These fish, there's no shallow fish to be had, so we have to get the bait down to them, and it's about doing whatever it takes. And today we've battled this, and there's one tip that I can share with you that'll hopefully help you not have as much frustration with this, because I've tried every bobber stop on the market and I've yet to find the actual solution to the problem. So if any of you guys have the actual answer or something that works, why don't you contact me and let me know, because it would save me a lot of headache. But what I have been going to as of late is I'm actually tying a bobber stop on. So I'm measuring out, like we were fishing 2 different depths today. The fish that were up higher on the brush piles, we were targeting 24 foot. Not 25, not 23, it had to be 24. So at this point, I measure out that exact amount of line and I actually tie a stop on there with either 6-pound mono or braid, what I'm gonna show you right here. There's a certain knot you can tie on here. A lot of people are gonna say, well, why don't you use the rubber ones or this or that? I've tried them all, they all grab, and you try and it just makes for a lot of frustration, but that's just part of the deal. So this is a pretty easy knot to tie. You just take your main line like this. This is 4 pound, and I've got a piece of 8-pound braid here, and you just kind of overlap them like this. Just make a big overhand loop, and then you're going to wrap it 6 or 7 times through the middle. So 1 time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then just kind of lightly wet it, and then pull both ends of your line like this, and you'll see it start to cinch down. Now, what we have is a stop on our line that you can slide up and down. Take your clippers. If you're going to use braid, you're going to need a good pair of braid scissors or a sharp pair of clippers. Trim the tag ends. You want to leave them just a little bit of a tag end so it gives it something to grab the bead. And there you go. Easy peasy. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to have a little bit of frustration, but you're also going to get a lot of production. And this little knot here will save you a lot of headaches. So that's the brush pile tip of the day. So Rush, Joe brought up a good point a minute ago about why couldn't we just sit on top of these,
Okay.
and just drop right down on them? And I said, man, that'd be great if you could. But you see how clear the water is. Super clear, and about as close to we can really comfortably get to these fish where they'll bite is about 20, 25 feet. I mean, sometimes I'll mess up and get in closer, but that's where we booger the pile up and can't catch them. So.
And it will shut them off.
Oh
I've seen
my
that
gosh,
this morning.
we've been seeing it all day. You know, we're still getting at hundreds of fish and we can only get a few of them, but yeah, right now, so, you know, all these fish are in the same depth pretty much. That's the Thermocline. And, you know, it starts setting up around like 18, 20 foot. And then about every week, you know, it drops a foot or two down, you know, just depending on the heat and different variables, how hot it is. And so that's where we highlighted that band of water, and we've just been working in that band all day. And I think we're around them now.
When does Dale Hollow start to turn over in the fall?
You know, it just kind of mixes. The creeks and different things will turn over different times. So, like on the main lake, I don't ever really see a clear, definitive like turn. I think, but up the creeks, you know, it seems like it's probably November.
Okay.
It's like, it's kind of weird. No, it doesn't like just turn all at once. You know, certain little areas might turn. Have you noticed how the wind, it doesn't matter what direction you think it's blowing, it changes?
Well, sometimes when you have no wind, it's tougher.
Yeah. I mean, just a minute ago, it was coming that way. Now we're...
These are those lighting variables.
Yeah. Those are the fun ones. So it's about 15, 20 foot, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. Some nice fish in there. This is, I think, about the perfect depth to fish away from them. Still see what you're doing. The fish don't feel you as bad. They're swarming it.
Especially like you say, your water is so clear
I
down
know.
there.
This is actually pretty colored for this. I mean, it gets way clearer than this even.
Oh,
my
he buried
gosh, it did bury it. Oh my, come on.
No way.
Jeez, that was a big fish right there.
He took that straight down. That's the first one of those we've seen this morning.
That was a good fish. How's that one we've been after?
Man, he took that down.
I cannot do nothing with this. Trying to get into it, I guess. All right, those are the bluegill, but the crappie are right over here. We've spooked them. These are your bluegill?
Yep.
These are your crappie. It's quite common this time of year to find them together because everything, the walleye are out here at the same stuff. You know, the Thermocline really dictates the entire summer. And they're comfortable. I don't know, for everybody who doesn't know what the Thermocline is, it's an interface between the warmer water and the deeper, cooler water. That's a bluegill. And it's right on top of an oxygen-rich layer, and the fish are real happy there all summer.
Cooler, they have oxygen.
Yeah.
And now, the BrushPile Gear Check.
Hey, this is the BrushPile Gear Check. Today, we were using mainly the 75 series combo. This is an awesome rod. This is my go-to rod for lots of different applications, particularly slip bobber, casting jigs, and it's also my go-to rod for my planter board rods in the spring. So if you're wanting one rod combo that can do it all, this is probably the most versatile rod reel combo on the market. I mean, you can literally, if you get one pole, this is the one you should get. So we were doing this is a 7.5 foot rod, so it's a good length. What we were mainly doing, we were fishing these slip bobbers, and we were fishing them primarily either 24 or 28 foot deep is how we had them set. We were using 6 pound line and 4 pound both. They seem to bite it about the same. But the big thing about the line is just clear. You can't use a high vis line down here. Lots of people have tried, but they learned the hard way. Once again, we were using a slip rig. Pretty simple. Probably the most crucial thing about this rig was the number, we've mentioned this a few times today, is the number 4 Aberdeen hook. I mean, it's a tiny hook. We follow that up. We've got a slip rig on here. Standard thill slip bobber. We were using we were 2 different size bobbers. On the bigger ones we were using a 3/16, and then on a smaller one we're using just a 1/4 ounce. Below the bobber I've got the weight just free on the line, and then we've got one of the rubber sinker stops, and that's the way it's adjustable. Also, the thing about this is if you get hung up and you get to pulling on it, the weight stop will go all the way down to the weight will go to the hook, and a lot of times the weight down there on the hook itself will actually pop you loose. We were also utilizing the live scope, not as much to actually catch the fish, but to locate them. And as always on all my Garmin electronics, Cornfield mounts, because you got to protect your investment, and you need a good mount to do that. And the Cornfield mounts are amazing, and that's the BrushPile gear check. Oh. Russ got him.
There we go.
Better fish, I think.
Yeah, I think he is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We got a netter, Joe. I think Russ has got him.
I got him. Good fish though. Goodness. Come
Well,
here. Get him in
Good
here.
job.
Look at there. No one is going to complain about catching this size for sure. You got him?
I believe we might have our double, Russ. Yours is a little bigger than mine.
That's all right. That's all right.
Well, you know,
Good fish.
one of these days,
Look
Corey
at
size,
there.
Russ size.
Look at there. He'll eat that one. Well, folks, we are rolling back into Dale Hollow Marina. Say goodbye to Denny. We've called it a day. Corey, this show, we've always said, is real, okay?
Yeah.
We came out this morning. We were going to get some 2.5s. It was a tough bite. We didn't get many bites at all, but it was still a good day.
Oh, we still got a lot of quality fish. We got a fish fry in the cooler there.
Absolutely.
So, but every day they don't always bite. I mean, I don't know how many thousands of fish we looked at today that wouldn't bite. You know, we were only getting 2 or 3 a spot. But that's
Folks,
the way it goes.
We would literally pull up some of these brush piles that had well over 100 fish and maybe take 1 fish or 2 fish off of it. But
Yeah.
I still had a blast. Anytime I get to come down here, the scenery's beautiful. The fishing was still good. No complaints. And Corey, it's good talking to you all the time, brother.
Oh, it's always, you guys are always welcome down here in God's country.
I'll tell you, no argument there. It is, man. But folks, we're going to slide up here to Dale Hollow Marina. We're going to say goodbye to Denny, my good friend, and we're going to be out of here. But you stay tuned, because we'll always be back with a new Brush Pile Fishing.
Special thanks to B&M Pole Company, War Eagle Boats, Crappie Magnet, Slime Line Fishing Line, Cornfield Fishing Gear, Eye-Hole Jig, Easy Drift, Driftmaster, Offshore Tackle Company, Power Pole, Mossback Fish Habitat, Hook and Bullet Sunglasses, Garmin,